I'm gonna move, but it's just not um, charged yet.
So now what do I do?
Just sit,
Huh?
sit down and wait for things to start happening.
Oh,
Okay, everybody, I am gonna start. I'm gonna start talking to all of you while I try to keep an eye on the waiting room as well, because we still do have a couple people coming in, but I don't want to delay too much. I want to welcome everybody to the Temple's 8th concert of the summer. For anybody I haven't had the opportunity to meet, my name is Jen Rower, and I'm the cantor of the Temple in Toledo, Temple Shulmer Emunim. And we've had an amazing summer of celebrating the talent within our congregation and in our area. And today we are super fortunate, I'm so happy to have a special guest joining us all the way from Chicago. Now, many of you have figured out that Laurie Akers has a Toledo connection. It's not random that she's here today, but she is the daughter-in-law of Jim and Renee Akers and married to Brad. And we are thrilled that she was volunteered as a guest artist and that she agreed to join us. So I am gonna just start by telling you a little bit about Laurie, and then I'm gonna hand it over to Laurie. She's gonna take it away and take us on a little journey of music this afternoon. So a little bit about Laurie. Laurie is currently the cantorial soloist of Or Shalom in Chicago. Did I get that right?
You did.
I did. I wasn't looking at anything. But before landing in that cantorial soloist position, she has a very long and impressive resume. Sorry, I'm outdoors. There's bugs on my hair. And impressive resume in musical theater and composition. And I would say that Laurie really is, I wanted to say that Laurie is a rising star in the Jewish music world, but I almost feel like the star has risen. Like, you know, I feel like Laurie, she's really in demand in the music world. You'll find her playing, not just during the pandemic, but performing all over the country at many, many different congregations. And really, she's in demand also for her compositions and is commissioned by major organizations. So it's really, really an honor for us to be hosting you today, Laurie. Laurie graduated from no judgment, please, Toledoans, the University of Michigan's musical theater program. And then she spent 10 years performing in international and Broadway touring productions and was also honored with the title of Miss USO. And she got to spend a year traveling globally to visit US military troops as a US ambassador. She is also the host currently of Chicago Sings, which is a program of Jewish rock radio in the Chicago area, which brings together cantors and musicians from over 20 congregations in the Chicagoland area. I know that Laurie also is active in, I'm imagining you might talk a little bit about your social justice work, so I won't talk about it too much. And then I just also wanted to mention that Laurie and I were brought together in a really amazing opportunity where she had the opportunity to create a choral arrangement of one of her compositions, which I'm pretty sure she's going to share, but which I also shared at my concert. And so I got to serve as her editor for Transcontinental Music Publications, where I sit on the committee for the American Conference of Cantors. And it was just an amazing experience. It was an honor to be your editor and really sort of have an inside view to the compositional process and help usher that into publication. And I just feel fortunate that that brought us together over what I think is a really, really important piece that I know that you'll share a little bit more about later. So really immense gratitude, Laurie, from me and my congregation for being with us today. And I'm gonna hand it over to you. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Cantor. It is such an honor to be here with you. That was a beautiful introduction, and thank you. It has been an honor to work with you. I'm so happy that I've had the privilege of working with you and meeting in the way that we have. We've been working really intimately together, so I'm grateful for that. I also have to say thank you to my in-laws, to Jim and Renee Akers. They've just, I mean, Jim in particular has just, he has just always been like kind of everywhere with me. And I know he's just always been like, Jim and Renee have been such amazing supporters of my work. And I know that when he saw this series at your, with your community, he just said, oh, you've got to be a part of this. So, so I want to thank them. And I just also, I'm so grateful to be here with your community. You know, obviously have this really special connection to Toledo. And I have to say, the only time that I was there was for such a beautiful simcha in my life. It was for one of my bridal showers about 10 years ago. And I just remember that we went to this amazing restaurant, Beirut, if that's still around, but it was amazing. And, but I did have an opportunity to just see your community and meet so many of my in-laws' friends. And so to be able to have this connection here with you today, you know, a decade later is particularly special. I also wanted to say that even though we are remote in this way, I would love that if you're inclined to, you know, sing along in moments. I feel that even when we are remote, that we still feel that kind of buzz inside of us that kind of resonates when we sing. And to me, throughout this period, it's really made me feel close to people, that when I'm singing and I know other people are singing, I can kind of feel a ring around me. And so please feel free to sing along. Today I'm going to be sharing mostly my compositions. I know your cantor and I had discussed that. So I'm going to start with a song. I don't normally do this, but it's a song I've actually never shared before. And I wanted to share it as it's one of our psalms, Magalu Ma'asechaya, in which we express our gratitude for just the wonderful work that is around us. I don't know about you, but I've spent a lot of time outdoors in the last few months. And I find that even today, a couple hours ago, I was at the park with my family, and my husband and I, Brad and I, were just noticing the beautiful trees. And I feel like we notice things like beautiful trees much more now than we ever did. And so I wrote this song with a colleague, Kenny Lyons, right, about just the wonders of the world, the ones that do not change, the ones that we have the opportunity to see and embrace every day. And the words are just hallelujah. Sing with me. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Can you try that for me? Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I know that, Papa. That's true. It is such an honor to be here with all of you. I hope that you all saw the message that he just wrote about the honor to be here with all of you. It is. Ready? So to that, we'll say hallelujah. That's a good bridge. Ready? Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Let's try that hallelujah together now that we know it. Ready? Hallelujah, 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 one more time, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, Magaluma Asachaya. How much we appreciate those wonders that we get to see every day. And yes, feel free, as I saw that Renee and Jim, that my mother and father-in-law did, that they were just chatting throughout. Feel free to chat throughout, please. I would love this to be interactive and to be able to hear from you. So let's make this a community experience together. Absolutely. So I wanted to share a composition of mine that even though it is not Shabbat right now, this is a part of our evening Shabbat liturgy. This is our Shamru prayer. And I wrote this version, which is it was one of the first compositions I had that was published through Transcontinental Music Publications, which is how your cantor and I really became acquainted. It's a part of the most recent Shabbat anthology. And I wrote this as just kind of a fun way to bring in Shabbat. I feel like the Shamru is this celebratory piece of our liturgy. And so I was just inspired to write something with a little, kind of vibrancy to it. And it's kind of a simple one. I hope that you can sing along with me. And maybe you'll share it with your community soon. It goes like this. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam v'olam. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam v'olam. V'niu le'bnei Yisrael lohi le'olam. V'niu le'bnei Yisrael Israel et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam v'olam. V'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam v'olam. Shishet yomim aseh Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Shishet yomim aseh Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam v'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam v'olam. U'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'yinafash. U'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'yinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam v'olam. L'dorotam v'olam. L'dorotam v'olam. So that is Vishamru. Oh, thank you for that. It's nice to be able to hear something back sometimes. I feel sometimes like throughout the past few months, I've developed this other sense where I can feel people more and more through a computer screen. So, and I know that going into the Hagim, that's something that we all really need more of. So maybe we should practice that now. So I'm actually going to switch to, the piano. So I'm going to rearrange myself here. So Cantor, you had mentioned that we had met through Transcontinental Music Publications, through a song that I had written called Stand Strong. And I had the honor of working with you as the editor on the on the choral version of this piece. And this is a song that was inspired by my work with the Sisterhood of Salam Shalom, which is an amazing organization. It's a national organization that creates bridges between Muslim and Jewish women. And it's something that I've been really proactive in the last couple of years. And it's made a pretty significant impact in my life. And I was inspired to write this song by the first time that I went to a program for the Sisterhood of Salam Shalom. I had a really beautiful conversation with a young Muslim woman. And there was a really funny story, actually, as we started to talk and really have this just really beautiful, intimate conversation. and, you know, a lot of tears and just wishing that our children could see how easy this could be. And throughout this night, this particular woman I was talking to, there had been a few women throughout who had said, "Oh, the two of you have to meet. You know, there's this Muslim woman. You actually look like her. You have like similarities. You need to see this woman." And so as we started to talk, someone came up to us and said, "You two," she said, "you know, you two look like sisters." And we said, "Well, we are." And we had this moment, and it was like something that sparked me in that moment, that I went home and I wrote this song in one evening. Normally it takes, you know, I don't know, several weeks sometimes to write compositions. And I'm so impacted by this night and by my conversation that I wrote the song Stand Strong. And I'll also say that I know in the next few weeks, I think, there is a, Cantor, maybe you can, exactly. I know there's a beautiful collaboration between, I think, probably 90 something cantors in the Reform movement around the country who are doing a virtual, who engaged in a virtual choir video for Stand Strong. And so hopefully that's something that will be coming out soon, that you'll have a chance to see in your community as well. So this is Stand Strong. Is this sound okay with the piano? A thumbs up? Okay, I'll take that. Okay. Take my hand, I'll take yours. Together we can open doors. If you see me and I see you for who we are, then we'll get through. If we sing one song, we stand strong. You feel alone and you're confused. You witness hatred and abuse. You don't know what to do. You see the world is full of strife. So many see a better life. You ask, what can I do? Take my hand. Take my hand. I'll take yours. Together we can open doors. If you see me and I see you for who we are, then we'll get through. If we sing one song, we stand strong. No more hatred, no more war. We will rise up one day more. We know what to do. We will love, not fight our way. That's our promise for today. This is what we'll do. Sing with me now. Take my hand. Take my hand. I'll take yours. Together we can open doors. If you see me, if you see me, and I see you for who we are, then we'll get through. If we sing one song, we stand strong. Now this is a part that I really need everyone to sing with me. We are going to sing the words, "We are not alone." And I repeat it several times in this piece because I want us all to say it until we really feel it. I know especially right now, there are moments, probably many moments, in which we feel alone, right? And so I want us to all sing this and really feel this in our hearts. Look around, people who may be around us right now. Look around the Zoom right now at the people who are joining us. Look in our hearts and think about the people who are with us right now, whether they are sitting next to us or not. And we want to sing the words, "We are not alone. We 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 are not alone." Again, ready? We are not alone. 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 We are not alone till we believe it. Ready? We are not alone. not alone, we are not alone, we are not alone. One more time. We are not alone, 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 we are not alone. Stay with that. Take my hand, I'll take yours. Together we can open doors. If you see me and I see you for who we are, then we'll get through. If we sing one song, if we sing one song, if we sing one song, we stand strong. We are not alone. So that is Stand Strong. I think for a moment we're going to change it up, and I wanted to share. It's a video of the first song that I ever wrote several years ago. This is a setting of Oseh Shalom, one of our prayers for peace, and just a little background about this particular setting. So when I decided to start composing music, it wasn't just a choice that I was going to just begin composing music. It was this really organic moment. I was actually singing lullabies to my children every night before they would go to bed. I mean, it sounds sweeter than it was. I was just trying to get them to go to bed, so I would just kind of sing anything. That's really what it was. But anyway, so I would just kind of sing like anything. And I found that my son, Ashton, my youngest son, really, for whatever reason it was, he really liked songs in Hebrew. And so I started singing just all these songs in Hebrew and different prayers and Hashkivenu, whatever it took. And then one night I started to sing an Oseh Shalom and just kind of went into my own place and had this little melody. And I ran it by, I was just goofing around, and I told a friend of mine, oh, I think I composed my first song. It's an Oseh Shalom, you gotta hear it. And I had said this to a friend of mine, Noah Aronson, who is, really seasoned, well-known, beautiful composer of liturgical music. And he heard it and he said, Laurie, like, I know you think this is funny, but this is a song, like you should create this. And so I created this piece, Oseh Shalom, and then Noah had helped me to arrange it. And it was the first song that I ever put out into the world. It was the first song that was ever published of mine in the latest Shabbat anthology. And the reason I'm not playing it for you live is because it really was written with a duet. So this is with Noah. And I believe that Cantor, you're going to play this. We're going to try and make this work. We did practice it. So we had our dress rehearsal, so I think it should work.
Okay, I am sharing my screen. You should see it in a minute.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Cantor, if you mute, I think if you mute, the sound goes off.
Say it again. What did you say?
I think that when you muted, the sound might have gone off when you pressed.
Oh, let me try again.
Not.
That's weird.
Oseh Shalom Viroma, Huya Aseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen ve'imru amen ve'imru amen ve'imru amen Oseh Shalom.
say shalom bimrama. Uya say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen ve'imru amen ve'imru amen ve'imru amen. Oh, say shalom. Be the one who makes peace above and watches over us. Help us build a world filled with love. Be the one who makes peace above and blesses all of us. Hallelujah, I say shalom. Oh, say shalom. Oh, say shalom, bimrama. Hallelujah, say shalom. Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen, ve'imru amen, ve'imru amen, ve'imru amen. Oh, say shalom. Oh, say shalom. Oh, say shalom. Oh, say shalom. Oh, say shalom.
Thanks for sharing. So I know the sound isn't always quite ideal over Zoom, so I hope that everyone is able to get the essence of it. But I feel like it's always important to share, the first composition and kind of the initial inspiration. And as I said, really a lot of my inspiration does come from my family, from my husband, from my children, from my entire family. And really that is what initially inspired me to write, was just singing to my children. So thanks for letting me share that. I wanted to share a piece that I have actually, again, I haven't played this live, but it just came out in the newest High Holiday anthology about maybe a week ago, within the last couple weeks. And Cantor, were you a part of the editing? Were you a part of that? Oh no, okay. I know you're immersed in so many things with the American Conference of Cantors and TMP that you do so much, so I kind of assumed that you were. Anyway, this is a setting of Shema Kolenu. And I was inspired to write this piece as I feel like this is a time where we are all asking for our voices to be heard, our collective voices to be heard. And, although this is something that I've always aspired, first, for myself and advocating for others to find and use their own voices and to be able to be heard. I know right now is this time for everybody to say, listen to all of our voices, and all of our voices are equally as important, and hear us. And so, when I knew that this anthology was coming up, I knew I wanted to write something, and I thought, what is kind of inspiring me the most? And this is one of those prayers that I just, as soon as I looked at it, I heard music. And so I wanted to share this with you. This is Shema Kolenu. Mm-hmm. That's a big one to sing live. But thanks for letting me share that with you. Shema Kalenu. So I'm going to share another piece, if that's okay. How are we with time? Is that okay? Okay.
I think it's totally fine. I think everybody's loving everything you're
Is
doing.
that okay?
Keep
Okay.
going.
All right. Feel free to get a snack. No. No. So I wanted to share a setting of one of my favorite parts of our liturgy. This is Yehiyu L'Ratzon, which we find at the end of the Amidah. And this also was one of the first pieces that I wrote just a few years ago. And I was so impacted by it, as it was, I always say that I had this kind of re-entry into Judaism. I had kind of a time once I graduated from college and moved to New York for a while and was in the musical theater world. And I admit I became somewhat disconnected as far as being like a practicing Jew. I was always there very culturally and spiritually, but I wasn't necessarily going to shul regularly. And when I moved to Chicago, my husband, Brad, he had brought me to a temple in downtown Chicago, Temple Sholem of Chicago. And that Renee and Jim are also members there as well now. And the first time that I stepped into this community, I heard their cantor Aviva Katzman sing this beautiful version of Yehiyu L'Ratzon. And there was something about hearing, I just gone through this big transition of just this big move, and I just met Brad, and it was just this beautiful but complex kind of moment in my world. And when I heard the cantor sing the words of Yehiyu L'Ratzon that said, "May all the meditations of my heart, may the words of my mouth all be acceptable to you," I thought, oh, like, thank God, like, yes, this can all be acceptable. And I felt so at peace in that moment. And so I was inspired to write this version of Yehiyu L'Ratzon. And I had written some of my own English interpretation of it in here as well. Yehiyu L'Ratzon. May the words of my mouth be acceptable to you. May the path I create, may the actions I take be in line with your divine glory. May the love that I feel be acceptable to you. May the time
times that I cry, I resist saying goodbye. Be in line with your divine glory. Adonai Suri, Bego Ali, my rock and my redeemer. May the words of my mouth be acceptable to you. May the path I create, may the actions I take be in line with your divine glory. Adonai to me, my rock and my redeemer. May the life that I need be acceptable to you. May the times that I rise share that voice deep inside, be in line with your divine glory. May the path I create, may the actions I take be in line with your divine glory. The Lorette song. Thank you. Sorry, my doorbell rang at the beginning of that, so I was going, oh. So I think to close, or before we close, if it's okay, I did want to share just one more collaboration. This is a video that that came out a few weeks ago. I work very closely with cantor Rachel Goldman, who is serves as a cantor at Congregation near Tamid outside of Los Angeles, as well as cantor Rachel Brook from Park Avenue Synagogue in New York City. And the three of us had planned on opening a trio that we recently formed called the Shul Sisters. And we've been rehearsing for about a year, and then we are, and this was right around April that we were supposed to open at Park Avenue Synagogue. And as you can imagine, we were unable to open. So we have still been trying to find ways to connect online. And we teamed up with a trio, this incredible group of singers, of gospel singers out of New York City, for a song called, it's a song called I'm Gonna Walk It With You. And that we did not write. And it's a beautiful spiritual piece. And we shared this collaboration a couple weeks ago. And are you able to get that up, Cantor? Okay, I'm trying to read your face if it's confusing. Okay.
Trying to make sure I have the right screen open, that it's at the right time. It's, you know, it's all new skills here.
Of course.
I think I got it. Are you ready?
Yes, we are ready. So okay. This was just such a proud collaboration. So I'm thrilled to be able to share it with the Temple community. Can you turn the volume up a little bit, maybe? Looks like it might be a hard road, but I'm gonna walk it with you. I know you might have a heavy load, but I can carry some too. I will lift you up when they push you down. I will raise my voice, stand my ground. It looks like it might be a hard road, but I'm gonna walk it with you.
Well, it looks like
it might be a long night, but I ain't going nowhere. And I know it's gonna be a hard fight, but I will stay right here. I will shine a light in the darkest hour. I will face the man in the tallest tower where it looks like it might be a long night, but I ain't going nowhere. I will work, I will fight, I will strive in the name of love. I will speak, I will speak, I will shine, I will shine, I will sing it to the skies above. Where it looks like it might be a perilous ground, but I will follow your lead. And I know it might be a long time before the last one of us is free. But I will hold on tight, stay by your side. I will be with you for this whole damn ride. Well, it looks like it might be a perilous ride, but I will follow your lead. I will lift you up when they push you down. I will raise my voice and stand my ground. Well, it looks like it might be a hard road, but I'm gonna walk it with you. 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 I'm gonna walk, 'cause it looks like it might be a hard road, but I'm gonna walk it with you.
Thanks for sharing. So yeah, that was a beautiful song that was written by Brian Claflin and Ellie Grace, and then we had it arranged. It was arranged by a woman named Emily Tummins, who serves as a cantorial soloist, and and then we kind of expanded the version as well. And so thank you to just all of these amazing artists for inspiring that collaboration. It was really, really special and created just a really meaningful bond between all of us. So yes, no, thank you. And so anyway, I want to thank everyone for being here and for joining me this afternoon. And I'm not sure if anyone had anything to say or any questions about anything, or if anyone else wanted to kind of chat for a second. I would love that.
I would love for you to share, Laurie, how can people follow the Schul Sisters, and like where can they find you? Is there like a page they can like, or do you have a newsletter or something like that?
Sure. Thanks. So for those of you who are on Facebook, I have a Laurie Akers music page, and so you can just like that. And most of the work that I'm doing, I do put on that page. I actually don't have a website. I'm feeling more and more like I should, especially nowadays. But a lot of my music is on SoundCloud, which is like soundcloud.com. And you can just put my name in, and a lot of the music is there. As far as the Schul Sisters, we also have a Facebook page, and we are going to be putting out. We are developing a website right now, and I can't wait until these two cantors and I are able to actually come into your communities. We will absolutely have to visit Toledo. It's just been such a blessing to work with them, and so I can't wait till we can be in person and be able to visit with you.
I know.
Yes.
So, Laurie, I want to, first of all, I want to thank you for being here, but I also want to make sure that everybody here knows that as talented as Laurie is, she is also Menchie. And it is such a pleasure, every opportunity to work with you, collaborate with you is such an absolute pleasure. You have such a giving heart, and we are so, so grateful that you joined us today. And what I'm gonna do, since it's so frustrating to be on Zoom and not be able to hear people, I'm gonna unmute everybody, so that everybody has a chance to shower you with applause and appreciation. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. I pushed unmuted, but you have to unmute yourself too, I think. So unmute yourself and everybody give Laurie a big round of applause.
Hey, Laurie.
I wish I could see everybody.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. And I just, so again, a big thank you, first of all, to my in-laws, Renee and Jim, for helping to set this up. Thank you. And thank you so much, Cantor, into your community right now. You two are such a mensch. I reciprocate your words. Thank you for everything that you do. And thank you for how fortunate your community is that you bring so much music to your community. With these with these series, you're so lucky on so many levels. So so I'm glad to be a part of it on this one occasion.
Thank you, thank you. And we will look forward to a post-pandemic world when we can bring you in, and maybe the Schul sisters, and we'll look forward to seeing you again. Thank you everybody for joining us today. We're so glad you could be with us. We have one more concert next week in our series. We will have next week Dr. Andy Pelletier on the French horn. Which I'm sure many in our community have been waiting and expecting, and then we will say goodbye to the summer. So hopefully you'll be able to join us next week as well. And thank you to Laurie and everybody who joins us today. Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Mark.
Everybody,
We got it.